Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Considering Grace. I am journaling today in John chapter 8, verse 12, which says, "Again Jesus spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And that comes from the English Standard Version. I will be honest and let you guys know that I had a lot of trouble with this particular entry, and it's for various reasons. But you'll notice that I'm actually using a different Bible than my journaling Bible. I started doing the video in my journaling Bible and was about 3/4 of the way through the video when it stopped recording, and I didn't realize, and so I finished the painting and everything, and and the end of the video was cut off. So I grabbed my application Bible and decided that I would do it again in there. So that's what I'm doing. And I also decided that I would apply some gesso before I started, because in one of my previous entries I did have a little bit of bleed through with some of the distress inks, and I believe that was because I was using water with them. Normally they don't bleed through, but anyway, I applied some clear gesso on these pages. And I don't know if you can see very clearly, but it's very hard to use pencil when you've used gesso. And I ran into two problems. The first being that I had some pencil on the page before I applied the gesso. And then I wanted to make some changes, and you can't erase pencil that is underneath the gesso. So I'm going to have to kind of improvise with that. And secondly, pencil on top of gesso does not erase very nicely. It smudges everywhere. So I had a bit of trouble with that as well. So you might see a few lines in my drawing there that I'm going to try to ignore. And I am happy with the end result, but the process was a little bit difficult for me, I'll be honest. So what I am doing there is, obviously I drew a lighthouse, and it's very easy to draw a lighthouse. Basically, you're going to draw two parallel lines that just come out a little bit wider at the bottom. And from there, you just want to draw a couple lines down in the middle of the lighthouse. One I drew pretty much close to the center, but just a little bit to the right, and just a little off center. And then again, another line in between the center line and the right side of the lighthouse. And that's just for the different angles of the lighthouse. And what I'm doing now is I'm painting the lighthouse sections in order of what the shadow would be like. So obviously the shadow is darkest on the right side of the lighthouse. So, and I'm just trying to paint some rocks there. And I only had two colors of brown. One was Rusty Hinge, and the other is Gathered Twigs. And so I used each of those, and then I also blended the two to make a third color of brown. And then I also used different amounts of water with them so that I could get different shading. So that's all that I used there. And I'm sorry that you can't see it, but I'm actually rubbing the stamp pad on the left side of the Bible there. It's just out of the screenshot. And then I've got a little mini mister, like a little squirt bottle that I squirt water onto the mat after I've stamped the ink pad on it. So that's how I'm using it. And I'm just trying now to get an effect on some grass, and rather than using wet ink, I took a paintbrush and just stamped the paintbrush itself, the bristles, into the ink pad so that it was kind of dry, not wet, and that kind of gave me a nice effect for the grass. Now I'm just going ahead and adding some of the red for the top of the lighthouse. It's really too bad because I was quite happy with the first one that I did in my journaling Bible. Unfortunately, the video cut out, but this lighthouse looks a lot different than the one I did in my journaling Bible. I'm not sure how they ended up being so different when I did them right one after the other. But anyway, even though I had a lot of trouble with this this entry into my Bibles, I just wanted to have the video for you guys anyway, because I want to get across to you something that was really hard for me to get to learn, and that is that it doesn't have to be perfect. And it is so hard when, especially when you're drawing in your Bible and painting in your Bible, you are afraid to mess up. And isn't it just like our walk with God and how we're afraid to mess up, and yet he's expecting us to mess up. That's what we do. And he's there to just accept us as we are. And I just wanted to get across that when we are journaling in our Bibles, it's more about the process and more about what we learn about God through doing it than what the picture looks like in the end. So consider that. So now I'm just adding some water, and I'm using the color Broken China for that. And just finishing that water there. Something that is cut out of the video here that you'll see now is that I drew the light from the lighthouse so that it directs right over to where the verse is. So on the right hand side of the page where the spotlight is, that's where the verse is. And so in your Bible it could be different. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment and subscribe, and have a great day. God bless.